Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall, some nice cool chords, D minor, rhythm patterns, and of course the tune for We Don't Need No Education. We're going to cover all three of those, and then once we got that going, you can put together some bass and drums and have something that sounds like this. But let's learn the individual parts. We're going to start with the tab, in other words with the tune. You got the tabs on the PDF and you're looking at the part that sounds like this. Now we're going to start off with finger number 3. You'll see my fingers are numbered. Finger number 3 on the 2nd string 3rd fret should sound like that. Next note is the open on the 1st string, followed by fret 1. Back to open. So your first 4 notes should sound like this. 2, 3, 4, and it simply repeats. Now I'm going to take a different angle over here so we can see the hand from head on. And here we get a nice clear view of the fretting hand. 2, 3, 4. And that is riff number 1, where they sing along with the words, we don't need no education. Now, if you compare the first and the second riff, you'll notice that all that happens is the last note is missing. So this is your second riff. We don't need no thought control. So it stops on the 1. It doesn't go back to the 0. Now, when you come back to riff 1, the words go no dark, no. On the word no, he plays this 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So it's no dark sarcasm. So the first riff, when it's played the 2nd time, simply has an extra note, that fret number 2 on the 3rd string, as a leading note as it goes into the opening 3 of that first phrase. And then you repeat the 2nd riff again. So that's your basic introduction. Now we're going to switch over to the strumming hand. And we've also changed the rhythm pattern, the strumming pattern a little bit, so that it sounds quite cool if you're strumming by yourself. Now I'm playing a D minor chord, just to revise for those that aren't sure. Here's your D minor sitting at the top. He's going to go off the screen. Focusing, I'm going to use a pick for this. And we're starting with the down strum from the 4th string for a D minor. So it's, and then notice that very quick flick, down, up, down. And on that last down stroke, it goes almost silent. So slow motion, down, up, down. You can hear it muted at the end of that. After that, you go for the bass note, which is going to be your 4th string. So you're going to have, and after that, 2 very quick down ups. But between those down ups, you've got a pause, down up, and then pause again. The pause meaning silence, and we're using the back part of the palm that we're tapping the strings to silence it. I hope you can see that nice and clear. So the entire strumming pattern in the slow motion should be something like this. And you repeat it. Now I'm going to play the backtrack again, and we're going to start with 4 counts, and then I'm going to play the D minor 4 times in a row, and you can hear and see the rhythm pattern with it. Riff number 2. Back to D minor. Back to riff number 1. Riff 2 again. And D. And and the G goes through 4 times. Now let me just take you through the chords slowly, just to make sure you're familiar with the G's and the F's and the C's. Your G chord. Notice I'm using my third finger and pinky at the bottom for the G, with fingers 1 and 2 at the top. Lots of guitarists just use the third finger at the bottom like this. I find this is a little bit more full. This is a normal G. This is the other G. It's such a subtle difference that no one's really going to hear or notice it. But this is my one, and it sounds nice if you're picking it, which is not relevant for that song. Okay, but let's go back to the strumming pattern. I want to focus a bit on the bass note here. We're going to have the same concept, exactly the same idea, but your bass note now is on the 6th string, on that string there. So it's a really cool strumming exercise to get the palm in, target the bass note, nice quick flicks, that muted strum. There's the muted strum, bass note, down up, mute, just playing it again if you're not sure of that. And you do that 4 times in a row for the G chord. After that you go back to D minor, then F and C and D minor. Let's just go through the chord chaps, just for those that are still new to guitar. Your F chord, this is the chord that's normally the challenge. Finger 1 goes flat across both strings in the 1st fret. Middle finger number 2 goes to the 3rd string from the bottom. Remember, we always count 1, 2, 3 from the bottom. Ring finger goes 4th from the bottom onto the 3rd fret. So this is F, and we don't play the top 2 strings. So that string and this string don't get played for the F chord. We strum from the 4th down. Once through, then we change to C. Now what's this transition? Basically you can break it up into 2 sections. Fingers 2 and 3 simply come up 1 string. So there's your F, this is the beginning of C, and then your first finger has to go onto the tip. So with F, finger 1 was flat, you can see it's nice and flat there. And when you go to the C, finger 1 to the tip on the 2nd string, and fingers 2 and 3 go up a string to string 4, string 5, and that's your C chord, and you play C from the 5th string. And then back to D minor. The structure, it is on the PDF. You've got the rhythm pattern, you've got all the individual parts, and then if you get stuck, any questions, drop me a WhatsApp. We'll later on another video add the other part, which is a part that goes like this. You know what? We're not going to do it in another video. We're going to put this part into this song. Now, if you don't know how to do this, which you'll see at the end of the video, by the way, you can always leave it out, but it sounds really cool if you can. Listen to this. We're going to play it from the G through 4 times. We're going to come out of the G, and we're going to drop this little phrase in. Check how nice this works. Here comes the G chord. 2nd time, 3rd time, 4th time, D minor. So you can hear how nice that works. Now, it's actually quite an easy phrase. Let's change the angle and take you through it. Now, on the original transcriptions, Dave Gilmour of Pink Floyd does play it subtly, slightly different. This one sounds just as cool, and only the absolute, very fussy professional will tell you the difference. We're going to start with a double 10. This is on fret 10, strumming the bottom 2 strings, to fret 8. So your 10's 8, and then pick the 8 again with a little slide, and a little quick strumming to it. If we change the angle, we'd have something like this. Then we jump up to fret number 7 and 8. We're in frets 7 and 8 on the 3rd and 2nd string, and we're going to do a quick slide up 2 frets. There you can see the slide, pick, and then, and after that you come back to the 7, 8, and then a very quick jump to double 5 on strings 3 and 2. Now, slow motion. And in context, it would sound like what we did with the backup track. One more time with the back track so you can see it from this angle. chord, you can see it nice and clear. And there's the F. And it really works well. If you've got any questions, let me know. Have an awesome week and enjoy playing Floyd.